Oh, I have something better for you. I feel like you would rock this.
Oh, I'm scared now. Are you live?
Yes, we are now live.
We're live.
Perfect. Thought as much.
Okay. So, let's go back. Oh man, I don't know how far back that is. Let's see.
1968.
Too far.
Oh, this one's easy. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna go
1968, and he played for USC.
Jeez. I was gonna say, let's go.
He drove a
last
Bronco.
24 Super Bowl MVPs.
Sorry. Say that again.
The last 24 Super Bowl MVPs.
Ooh, I am so ready for this. Okay.
All right. So who was the one this last year?
Okay, that was Mahomes.
Yep. Year before.
Almost like I need to remember. It was Mahomes
Yep.
again.
Mahomes again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I need to
Okay.
hold on.
Okay, let's see. The year
Just
before, Rams, Cooper Cup.
It was Cooper Cup. Hold on, I'm also pulling up like who played so I can give you that hint as well. Hi everyone, we're doing a little trivia for McKay to kick things off.
We're testing my
And
brain.
everyone was
Next
curious,
one.
like, what the heck are we listening to? We are listening to, we were talking about college trophy Heisman winners, and we went all the way back to the year 2000. McKay you got more than half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just going back within this past, this century, I've done pretty well.
And now we're
Yeah.
doing Super Bowl MVP. Okay, so we got Mahomes, we got Cup. The year before that,
If we want to keep it rolling, just tell me who won the Super Bowl that year. I mean, I could probably figure it out,
Okay.
like I off the top of my head, but
Tampa.
like it'll go faster if you
Who
just
won
tell me
that
who
Super
won.
Bowl? We have Tampa Bay.
Okay, Tom Brady,
Yep. Year before that, Kansas City.
Patrick Mahomes,
Year before that, New England.
Don't do it.
Julian
Don't say
Edelman.
It. There we go.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say, I'm
there
like,
you
Matt
go.
might be a little disappointed in that one.
It wasn't Brady.
Julian
It wasn't
Edelman.
Brady.
Yep, I knew it wasn't Brady.
Was that the 28-3 Super Bowl?
No, that was
Oh
the
no, that was the
one against the
garbage one that
Rams.
everyone hated. That was like a 16-point game all around.
Yep.
That's the one no one.
Thanks for bringing it up 28-3, though. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, we got Super Bowl 52.
Winning team. Oh, the Eagles. Nick Foles.
Yep,
Nick Foles.
I was like, if I say the team, it's going to be a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Okay. So the year before that was Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons. Tom Brady is the Super Bowl MVP.
Mm-hmm. Super Bowl 50.
Von Miller.
Yep. 49.
Brady. I remember
Yep.
Super Bowl 49 was my favorite to ever watch.
48. Ooh, this is a good one.
That was the Seahawks. What was his name?
Defense.
Malcolm Smith.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. The year before that.
This one's hilarious.
Ravens. Joe Flacco.
Yep. The year before that.
Eli Manning.
Yeah. See, look, you're not even needing the teams.
Eli.
Year before that.
Aaron Rodgers.
It is Rodgers.
That was his one. Okay. Yep.
Okay, we got.
Then the year before that would be Drew Brees.
Yes, sir.
I'd be surprised if you get the next one.
He may get this. McCain knows a lot of just like weird facts about everything.
Give me okay, so let's see. That was
position or team?
always team.
Team Steelers.
Yeah. I thought so. It's Steelers and Cardinals. Antonio Holmes.
Yeah, very nice.
Right, because okay, we'll get to it here in a second here. But yeah, okay, so the one before that is Eli Manning against the other time he beat Brady.
Uh-huh.
And then the one before that was against the Bears. It was Peyton Manning. Obviously, I'm going to remember that one. But then we were talking about San Antonio Holmes. But then the year before Peyton Manning's one was the other time with the Steelers. So it's Hines Ward who is the Super Bowl MVP for that one. Okay. Okay. The year before that, you're gonna have to give me the team again.
Patriots.
Okay. This one is not Brady. This one is. Yeah, this one's Deion Branch, isn't it?
It is Deion Branch.
Yes.
Do you remember who played in the year before that one?
Patriots.
Uh-huh.
That was the back-to-back. So Brady is the
Back-to-back.
Super Bowl MVP on this one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Jeez, what year was that? Oh,
That was 2004.
this next
see-
one is 2003. I had to look up what teams actually played that one.
Tampa
Okay,
Bay.
so this is the one. This is the weird one where John Gruden was the coach for the
Yeah.
Raiders, and then he switches over to the Buccaneers, and they meet each other in the Super Bowl. And I keep wanting to say that Rich Gannon was the Super Bowl MVP, but I think he was the regular season MVP that year. The Super Bowl MVP, I have to remember, he was a defender. His
Mhm.
name.
I'll be shocked.
I'll be shocked. I'm looking at his name and I'm like, if McKay gets this,
Dexter Jackson,
yup,
right?
yup.
Yes.
I never
Okay.
doubted you, but it still just blows my mind that we're. By the way, just for people keeping up, we're now at like 2002, 2001 territory.
Which we should probably only go as far. We'll
I'm
just
going
do
to
what we did with the
2000.
Heisman too.
We should do
Well,
one more, then we can stop.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh yeah. Okay, because the next one's the first Patriots win, so it's Tom Brady.
No, it's the second. Patriots one.
Yeah. What was the one before that? Because the one before that I feel like is one of the better ones.
Oh no,
to
that was
talk
the
about.
first one. Never mind. That was the first one.
Ray Lewis.
It was Ray Lewis.
Okay. And then that would mean the year before, because now we're back to 2000, right?
Yep, now we're at 2000.
Correct.
And then 2000, this will be the last one that we do. This one I remember because this was Rams and Titans. It was where like the Titans just barely missed out on the goal line. So the Rams won, and Kurt Warner was the Super Bowl MVP,
Ding,
right?
ding, ding, dang.
All right.
Where is that?
Dang. And you got to remember, right before we went live here, we were chatting, and what was I doing? What was I playing while we were chatting
You
before
were
anyone
playing
else hopped
trivia.
on?
You were playing Christmas trivia.
Yep, exactly. I was playing a trivia game of some sort. Yes, it was Christmas trivia, but like that's what I'll tell you. Quick little story here before we do jump into all things NFL for this week. So, I basically knowledge-wise, I met my match when I was doing my student teaching because my mentor teacher is like really, really super smart in all things trivia too, and just remembers things super, super well. The only way I was able to beat him when we would go like head-to-head in trivia matches, like in online trivia matches, is my typing speed was so much faster than his. So we would do like a trivia game where it'd be like, can you name all the countries of the world? And
Sheesh.
like he would it would be like there'd be like a 12-minute time limit on it, and I'd be finished with like 7 minutes to go, and he would only have like 50 of the countries entered in. He could name them all, but he couldn't get them in fast enough, and he was so mad at me.
Wait, you know every country in the world?
Yes, but we're not gonna go into that here
Sheesh.
tonight.
I
That's
mean,
just
I
forever.
remember at one point, I remember like all the countries of Africa at one point. I had to remember their placement on a map, but that was the most I ever did.
Yeah, I know, I'm weird.
Nah, you don't you have like a semi-photographic memory?
Yeah, I think it's technically eidetic. That's how like, you guys remember we had an episode a couple weeks back where Matt like confused Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, and I about like jumped down his throat. I was like, what the shit? Like, it's because like, especially with the NBA, all those random facts are stored in the nether parts of my brain.
And see, we will say we have done trivia many times on this podcast before.
Yeah, I know, it's a lot of fun.
You usually win too because I don't even try to compete with half the stuff that you know.
Yeah, now you know why my family won't play any trivia games with me.
I
mean,
will
I
smoke
love
you
trivia
in
games.
any nerd trivia.
I wouldn't go
No.
that far.
No. Tyler,
Marvel, Disney, Star Wars.
Tyler, do you need to tell them the story about the one time we played Star Wars trivia? He's been a little quiet.
I have like 50 Disney trivia games, and I have gone to Disney cruise ships and won Disney trivia games.
Game night. Let's do it.
I have never played against a more difficult or worthy opponent than McKay Chamberlain. I will leave it at that and not go into details on how much I was embarrassed.
Now I have one question. This is one question that I remember from the trivia game show, and I'm pretty sure everyone's
boy.
seen this movie, so I feel like this is a fair advantage because it's obscure-ish Disney trivia. Real side
Alright.
tangent. What was Troy Bolton's jersey number in High School Musical?
Oh,
Number 2.
Wrong.
14. Oh,
McKay is
13 or
correct.
14.
It is
Yeah!
Darn it.
14.
It was a shot in the dark.
That was like one of the things I knew very well. I was like, oh, that's 14. My parents were like, how the heck did you know that? I'm like, I really don't know. I just kind of knew it.
The number just popped into my brain. That was funny. You guys should actually be embarrassed right now, not because I know all this stuff, but because you're embarrassed. Like, wow, I can't believe he knows that stuff. What a nerd.
Now,
What a nerd.
now to make it more difficult for McKay. Okay, so Troy had 14. What was his best
Oh
friend
my God.
Chad's jersey number?
I don't know. Number 9.
Number 3.
Both wrong.
Darn it.
McKay, you were close. It is number 8.
Ah. Okay. All right. Now that we're done talking about that, past the trivia point. That would be fun though, doing something like that.
Well,
I
mean,
will
we,
admit,
we,
whenever
we gotta do another NFL trivia soon.
well, and when all 4 of us like actually get together and like hang out for reals, like we
I
need
meant
to
on
actually
the
do a trivia
podcast.
night.
Yeah.
I know.
He doesn't want to
I'm
hang
just-
out in person. Are you nuts?
I know, he doesn't like us.
That's
He doesn't
I have
actually
a
like us. He likes to
baby.
keep-
I have a baby, and y'all live far as heck.
Eh.
All I hear are excuses.
You're
That's what I
darn
hear.
Right, they are.
We all have kids too, Shane.
Yeah, but I think I have the youngest one here, so ha.
No, wait. Well, you won't for much longer, at least.
Yeah, I'm like, yours isn't born yet.
All right. Let's jump here into our key matchups that we have this week. Now, look, when these ones were picked out, we picked them out just because there are real-time playoff implications for a lot of these. Some because they're division rivalries, others because, well, there's at least one team on there that's really fighting for their playoff lives, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes from here. But before we jump into that, one thing I've really wanted to talk about here, because I know it's been some chatter that we've had within our group chat here that I think does need to be brought up, though, is we are having, as we wind down to the end of the season, we are having quarterback changes for some teams.
A lot
Now-
of them.
Yeah, so the Titans, it makes sense. You bench Levis, you try Mason Rudolph, they're already eliminated from the playoffs. The Browns, they're going for Dorian Thompson, Robinson, whatever the heck his name is, because they're like, okay, it's not Jameis,
Everything's
whatever,
bad.
we're already eliminated. But Tyler, Penix over Kirk Cousins, while they all have a chance to make the playoffs. Thoughts?
I've been pondering this all week and last week and the week before. I think our playoff hopes at this point are non-realistic. I've heard great arguments for why we should just keep Kirk through the end of the season. But honestly, at this point, if we don't have playoff aspirations, because I don't think we're going to make it, I say start Penix. Start him in these intense situations at the end of the season, and let the boy play. I think he's going to end the season with 3 games under his belt. He's going to go into next season a lot better prepared, and I'm happy about it. I like Kirk Cousins. I really like Kirk Cousins. I liked him at the first half of the season, but he just has not played well enough that I'm willing to keep him playing in a lose situation.
So 2 follow-ups that I'm going to have to that. First of which is you say that there are 3 games that Penix will get the chance to play. I'll look to the schedule. 2 of those are like 100% winnable already. Like where it would not be hard to get wins. One's against the Giants and one's against the Panthers. They're 2 of the worst
Correct.
teams in the NFL. So
Correct.
I think that's a good call as far as they'll give him a chance to get experience, but in a sort of lower risk situation. Yes, you're fighting for the playoffs, but it does kind of seem like by benching Kirk Cousins and after how poor of a showing they had against the Raiders, who are also a really bad team, they've kind of just thrown in the towel. Does that seem correct?
That is my feeling on the matter. I hope it's not purely a throw in the towel. You never want to see a team just truly just start benching everyone, start saying, nope, we're not going to try. We don't want a giant situation. I think that just sucks. I think players hate that. So I'm really I don't think that's going to be the situation. Obviously, if the Buccaneers, I think, lose 3 games, I think we can make the playoffs, I think is the current picture, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, let me
Um,
take a look at the Bucks schedule real quick.
I did
yeah,
have the thought on this
pretty sure they
Cube-
win.
The
QB
Win two,
Bucks
change.
lose
have
one.
Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints remaining.
Well, they're all technically winnable by the Bucks.
And the
Yep.
Falcons have Giants, Commanders, and Panthers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the Falcons have a good shot at winning 2 of those games, potentially even playing spoiler to the Commanders. But I also
Right.
look at the Bucks with their schedule. Chargers are supposed to have a pretty decent defense, and they hung 40 on them.
I think Bucks are going to go 2-1 in the final 2 games. I think Falcons are going to go 2-1. So
that.
I think either way we're going to be in the same spot. So I don't think anything's going to change for our playoff picture.
I think the reason they're doing this in part too is to save the coach's skin a little bit.
But some people are already
Because
calling
his
for his
pick
head.
was controversial. They're like, why the crap? So I think this is in part going, oh, hey, yeah, we have a capable backup if Kirk Cousins ever gets hurt or
Right.
whatever. So I think it's in part that as well, just to see, oh, he can perform and win games versus, oh, we're just going to get him reps.
Right.
So,
I mean, possibly.
plus I'm intrigued to see how he plays.
Right.
Because
Right.
for all the card enthusiasts out there, let's just say they put Penix in and he balls out, his value on his trading cards are going to explode.
That's true, but I don't know if we'd even consider trading him with.
Well,
especially
no,
with Kirk
I'm talking
Cousins
about just
underperforming.
like, you know, because I know there's a lot of people are stockpiling his cards just to see what happens, you know, in the future.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay.
Trading cards. And I think this is a great opportunity for some people because they can be like, holy crap, he's amazing. And then, you know, yeah, it'd be a gold mine
On
for
that
some
note,
people.
though, I will say I think the fan base and the team loves Raheem Morris, and it's just his first year. I don't see, even if we finish off the season with Kirko, I can't imagine losing Morris. I think he's too popular and you know, that it's not like a wow you just suck. It's a well you might suck in the future. We'll have to see kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Some analysts.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I was gonna say some analysts have been, calling for his head. Saying, oh, he needs to be fired just after this first year. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's really that time for that just yet. I get where their argument comes from, the whole, belief in, hey, how come Raheem Morris couldn't get it done when he's got this roster that had Kirk Cousins and Drake London and Bijan Robinson and, that sort of thing. But again, I think it's probably too early to necessarily just say, okay, yeah, this didn't work. I think we're really, more than anything, we're just seeing that the Kirk Cousins experiment didn't really work the way that they thought it would. And truth be told, I just like to throw this out there. If, let's say, for example, you've got a couple of other quarterbacks here still in the league. If Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers were still really playing at top tier levels, and I'm not saying Stafford is bad, but he's not playing, at an elite level, and obviously Aaron Rodgers has not been great at all. If they were both still playing at a high level, there would probably be some conversation about, okay, well, Kirk's not the problem. It's not the age. It's not father time sort of thing. But the thing is all those older QBs are not playing well right now.
Right. Well, and I think anyone who watches Kirko play realizes he can play well, he's smart, but he cannot move.
Yeah.
And, if the man could sidestep a couple, a defender, it'd be like, maybe he can play this, but he can't. Anything that gets through, Kirk is sacked or he's throwing it away. It's just that simple.
And some of it might be a little bit of, I get the best way I could describe it is probably a little bit of PTSD. Because, I actually rewatched the receiver episode the other night, with Justin Jefferson, the one where he kind of basically tried to get out of there and he tore his Achilles.
Right.
You get injuries like an Achilles or a ligament tear, ACL, MCL, PCL, what have you. There's this unconscious issue that still exists for a very, very long time. You're always scared about how you land or how you move, just for fear out of injuring that again.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't blame the man at all. And I think he's got a real fun personality that was real fun to see in Atlanta. It's just a bummer. It's not the way I would have had the season go. But
Yeah, for sure. Nope, totally get it. All right, so yeah, going back into our key matchups here. Let's talk about the first one. We got Broncos and Chargers. Shane, Matt, let's have you guys cover a little bit of your thoughts here, because I'm seeing you guys pick the same team.
Matt, you go ahead.
I want the Broncos in because I think they, like, out of the two, like this matchup, honestly, I think the Broncos, even though everyone thinks the Chargers are gonna win, I think they have the better advantage. Even though it's at SoFi, I feel like the Broncos are on a better streak. Not really streak, but like they're just, I feel like they're playing better. Plus, I've been a Bo Nix fan since before the draft, so I'm a ride or die with him right now.
I mean, mine's kind of the same. Is that I feel like the Chargers have just been playing, or not the Chargers, the Broncos have been just playing better football all around. And honestly, I think it would take a lot to not have the Broncos or the Chargers in the playoffs right now.
right.
Yeah, that's like, it won't really matter either way, but you know.
I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it. Is Broncos have 9 wins, Ravens have 9 wins, Chargers at 8. Everyone else has 6 or less. So it would take basically the Chargers and the Broncos to lose out in order to miss the playoffs.
And I'd like to point out too, if you remove the start of the Broncos season, I mean their record has been crazy since they decided to start playing.
Yeah.
Since
I mean,
they decided, or I wouldn't say since they decided to start playing, but more since Bo Nix got comfortable, the coaching team's starting to tailor towards him a little bit more.
Right. Their only losses since essentially the Chargers last time have been to Baltimore and Kansas City. Both, well, the Baltimore loss was pretty embarrassing, but the Kansas City loss essentially should have been a win. But both are A-tier teams.
I'm gonna say it. Granted, I don't know how in detail. I haven't really checked it out too much yet. I hope they both go in the playoffs though, because then that means Kansas City's gonna struggle.
Maybe start that.
Because that'd be amazing if they lost to either one of these teams in the playoffs. I'd be down
yeah.
for that. But
It's been close with all those games that they've had against them.
yeah.
Here's one more thing that I do think we need to talk about here. So, really quickly here. So, yeah, Shane, you took Broncos. Matt, you took Broncos. I'm taking Broncos. Tyler, are you taking Broncos?
I am as well.
Yeah. One more thing that we need to at least acknowledge here, though. Again, going back to the historical trivia for the NFL. Do you guys know the last time the Broncos were in the playoffs?
Wasn't it
20
Super Bowl 50 when they won with
17.
Peyton?
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah,
last
15.
time. It's when they
16,
went to the
wasn't
Super
it?
Bowl. It's when they went to the Super Bowl and won it. That was the last
Yeah,
time.
with Payne.
Yep.
Only
Even
one.
though Peyton admits he did not play good at all.
No.
Only
Defense.
one team has had a longer playoff drought than that of the Broncos. Any guesses?
The Bears.
Oh, no, it's not.
Nope.
It's not the Bears. It's not the Bears. It's not the Bears.
Panthers?
I saw this stat, and
Nope.
it's not the Panthers. Panthers were
No,
in
it's
50
not
as
the
well.
Panthers.
They have not gone to the
oh,
playoffs
Browns.
since 2009, I think.
No, Browns have been in before then. I want to say
When?
it's the Jets.
It's the Jets.
Heck yeah! Look at me with
Really?
my football trivia. Heck yeah!
I was gonna say the Raiders, but
No, because I was like, I know it's not the Panthers. I know it's not like a lot of teams that we think are bad, but it's a team that is pretty bad, and it's the Jets.
To give you
remember.
context as far as some of your other submissions, I think the Bears, the last time they were in was 2021. The Raiders, it was the 2022 playoffs. They lost in the first round to the Bengals, who went on to the Super Bowl. What
Yeah.
was the other one that came in? Panthers, 2017. They lost to, if I remember correctly, the Saints in the wild card round, and that was the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So they've had
Then
recent
they had
appearances.
Cam Newton.
Yeah,
Cam
correct.
Newton was still there. That was their playoff, or that was their Super Bowl hangover year.
Yeah.
No,
No,
2
it
years
wasn't.
later.
That was 2 years later,
years later.
huh?
Yeah, they came in as the 6th seed, but they only scored like 6 points against the Saints. And then if you remember, so the Saints get that win against them, and then in the very next game, the Saints played the Vikings. Anyone remember what happened at the end of that game?
Who doesn't?
Old Stephon Diggs.
Good old controversy.
All right, so okay, yeah, Broncos, but it seems like okay. Some of the matchup monsters that we have in mind. Bo Nix seems to be a popular one. I'm gonna throw a Pat Surtain in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that.
I'm okay with that.
All right, Steelers versus Ravens. Tyler, you got this one.
I think this is going to be a fun game.
Well,
I
last time.
think- Yeah,
It's
really
the most
though.
expensive game too.
Is it really? Like,
Yep.
where is that? Like, just tickets? Is that what we're talking?
Tickets, yeah, 212 for nosebleeds.
Sheesh.
Interesting. I think everyone thinks. Well, I don't know about everyone. I feel like the majority. It feels like everyone's leaning towards the Ravens, but I really feel like the Steelers are gonna make this resurgence here. And I think a lot of it is
They're
good.
10-4. They clinched the playoff.
Yeah, but they lost last time.
No,
I disagree with one reason and one reason only why I think the Steelers will lose. And that reason is they're missing TJ Watt. And in games this season, when TJ Watt, or I don't even think it's games this season, but in games where the Steelers don't have TJ Watt, they're 1-10.
And you are 100% correct. I'm so sorry. Baltimore Baltimore lost last time. So
18-16.
yep. Okay. And I was not aware that TJ Watt was out. I have
Yeah,
to
I didn't know
amend my
that either.
statement. With that change, I'm putting all my money on the Ravens.
He's not out. He's questionable still.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought he got
Not
ruled out.
He's not out. I'm looking at the injury report. I usually pull it up every matchup. Yeah, he's not out.
He's
still
just questionable.
correct.
Okay,
But he
interesting,
did injure
interesting.
his ankle.
It's gonna be game day, is what it's gonna be. Like the day of, they'll
He
know
has
if he's
not been
playing or not.
practicing though.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Steelers need this win to be in, so I wouldn't be surprised if they let him
Steelers have
heal.
clinched playoffs already.
Yeah.
Yes, but if they
I-
want to maintain hold of the division,
Yeah.
Here's the
And
other thing. This
he-
is a
some sort of home field
Saturday
advantage.
game.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy.
Oh, that's true. If they
So
are they
TJ
gonna
Watt
force
essentially
Watt
has
out there?
tomorrow and Friday in order to be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was limited
know.
on practice today.
Was he
TJ
limited or
Watt
did
was.
he not participate?
He was limited participation.
Okay. So that's not bad,
Interesting.
but still.
So like I said, like it's still a question mark, but definitely
He returned to practice today, so
yeah.
he's limited.
Well, here is what we also have to look at for the Steelers. I believe the Steelers are one of the 3, maybe 4 teams that are heading here into this playing 3 games over an 11-day stretch scenario.
The
Right.
Chiefs just
Here
finished
is-
theirs, I think, or they're finishing
Yes,
it
but
this week.
here's the thing: the Ravens are another team that also hitting that scenario.
Interesting.
For the Steelers to clinch the AFC North, one of 2 scenarios has to happen. The first of which is if they beat the Ravens on Saturday, they win the division.
Right.
However, if they lose to the Ravens, they have to beat the Chiefs and the Bengals for their next 2 games.
Which are both
Mm.
And keep in mind, those are in the tough stretch. You've got the
Both
Ravens,
doable but challenging. I
Yeah,
would
but
say they're
but
easy wins.
especially over that period, because you've got the Ravens here this Saturday. The Chiefs game is on Christmas Day, and I think Bengals is the following Sunday.
Yeah, and they've got Houston and Cleveland, which
Yeah.
should be fairly easy wins.
Could be,
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I still have to put if actually, you know what? I take back what I said. Even if TJ Watt is out, I think I still am going with the Steelers.
Lamar Jackson has always struggled against the Steelers. I don't know what it is, but it's just like somehow they have that for him. You know, it's the same thing too with with whenever the Bears were playing Aaron Rodgers, they always struggled.
Or the Packers in general now.
Well, yeah, the Packers
Right.
in general now, but let's go back to when it was just Aaron Rodgers. Before that, you know, they could handle it, but always when it was up against Aaron Rodgers, he owns them. Let's call it plain and simple for what it is. It's kind of a similar situation here. For some reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin specifically, owns Lamar Jackson.
My Tomlin has some voodoo black magic, which, if you watch Gridiron Heights, highly recommend it. They talked about the Chiefs' black magic and the Steelers' black magic.
And it'll be fun because those two teams are playing each other on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was great. The Chiefs are like, "What about our black magic?" And the Devil's just like, "Nah, I've used too much on you guys." And he's just like, "Oh, hey, Mike." And Mike Tomlin's just like, "Not me, not me." Like, keep my name out. And I'm just like, yeah, the Steelers kind of do have a little black magic.
Just a little bit. It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here's a question: is Rashad Bateman injured?
Bateman? Jeez, I don't think so.
He is. He is injured.
He's questionable.
Yeah, but you got Derrick
like-
Henry.
Yeah,
But I think this game is going to be if he can do what he did last week, where he can throw touchdowns. I think this is a winnable game for the Ravens. But when he's
He would have
restricted
to,
to just Zay Flowers,
I was just gonna say
yeah.
he'd have to though because Derrick Henry let me down in fantasy football this
Oh
week.
my gosh! Don't even get me started. Freaking him and
Yeah, gotta love
Saquon.
that.
You gotta be kidding me.
That pissed me off.
Oh, fantasy.
okay, there you go. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm picking Steelers. Who will
Yeah, I
contend
got
against
Steelers.
me?
I got Ravens.
Ooh, Matt, you gonna split us? 2-2, or do you want to come to the fun side?
The fun
Just
side
because
is the
Derrick
Ravens
Henry
side.
let me down, I hope the Steelers win.
Dang.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll say this. If TJ Watt is healthy and playing, I think the Steelers will win. If not, I think the Ravens are going to dominate the Steelers for this game.
I don't know about dominate. I don't think either of these teams are going to dominate.
I think it's gonna stay so close up to the end, just like last time.
Well, isn't Justin Fields now starting for the Steelers?
I don't think so.
I didn't
No,
think
I think
no,
so.
he's not. I thought there was talk about it. I guess not. I am wrong on that.
I will say the only wild card we have here is if TJ Watt does sit out, everyone just automatically thinks they're out of it and their defense is going to suck. I could see their defense stepping up and just shutting them down
I could
without
too.
TJ. Just being like, oh, we don't need him. They're like, yes, he is a huge factor, but we don't need him to win or be good.
That,
you know?
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Just to bolster the team, give some confidence in the entire defense. Like, we can do this without TJ. Yeah, he's a great help, but we're not like helpless without him.
I think the defense revolves around him, and when he's not there, they definitely do have to pick it up. And Evans above, he's an impact player, but
Right.
obviously this defense has held teams, and TJ Watt isn't doing that by himself.
Right.
I feel like everyone's not giving Derrick Henry enough credit because I think TJ Watt will be the main stopping factor of Derrick Henry. Without TJ Watt, Henry runs a little more wild. But with all of this said, we do need to kind of hurry on because we have about 20 minutes left of the podcast and we have a lot to get through.
Yeah, we do.
True, wow.
I'm really excited about the.
Speed time.
Yeah.
So, speed.
Hey, cool. Yeah, all right. I'll go through this one here next. Eagles versus Commanders. Hey, I'm thinking it's going to be the Eagles on this one. Do I think it'll be close? Yes, but I got the Eagles coming on this one. I hope that they get to utilize Saquon a little bit more and find that balance. I feel like we either get too much of the running game or too much of the receiving game. Get that balance there for them. This is a good opportunity to figure it out.
I think the Eagles will win, but I'm hoping the Commanders play spoiler and sneak them into the playoffs and clinch a playoff spot this week. Or not clinch, but stay in the playoff hunt because the NFC has a lot of wins and a lot of wins.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than to see the Eagles lose, but I don't think the Commanders have it in them.
Yeah. I want Saquon to have a big game, so I'll go with the Eagles. I would love to see him be MVP, but it's gonna be hard with Allen.
Yes, that's for sure.
Moving on, right?
Vikings and Seahawks. Who we got?
The Vikings have some
Vikings.
kind of weird magic going on right now.
Yeah, okay, but because with the whole Sam Darnold thing, and yeah, I mean, the NFC North, you've got 3 teams that are really impressive, both that have 10 wins there, 10 or more wins.
And the
But then-
Seahawks, Geno Smith did just get injured.
Yes, but the Seahawks, they also have extra to play for here. They are fighting for a chance at the division. They don't have the division right now, so the best thing they can
Right.
hope for is potentially going here for a wild card.
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying
still-
I'm saying the Vikings. Vikings have some weird movement
It's-
this
The
season.
Vikings. The
And
Vikings.
honestly, at this point, I think we can rule the Seahawks out anyway. I think that NFC West title is going to go to the Rams.
Right. Plus that meme that I sent you guys, that reel, where it's just like
Gosh.
Geno Smith gets hurt. Ooh, that's not much better. As the backup. So much
Yeah.
worse. Oh,
Who is the
yeah,
backer?
they're
That's
tough.
Sam Howell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yep.
All right, we got Buccaneers versus Cowboys. I'm gonna make it short and simple.
Bucks.
I got the
Bucks
Bucks.
in here. Yeah.
I think
100%.
Baker's significantly better than Cooper Rush.
The entire Cowboys team.
Hey,
Yeah.
respect Micah Parsons.
He would probably be a better running back. He'd probably be a better tight end. Wide receiver, questionable. Maybe number 2, maybe. But
CD Lamb pretty good.
yeah, but yeah, they're already out. They're just there just to collect a paycheck at this point. Plus
Yeah.
the tickets are $20.
Heck
So if
yeah.
you guys want to go see a game for super cheap,
Oh, if only I lived in
Yeah.
Texas.
fly to Arlington.
Have you guys seen though the fact that oh man, you want to be really funny though
Hey,
is
I
the
could have
game
gone
is-
to a Panthers game during Thanksgiving and paid like $12 for it.
the
Lucky.
Bucs and Cowboys game really quickly here. That's being played in Dallas. I'm just saying, with all the controversy that Baker Mayfield's now gone under this season for starting the whole planting the flag tradition that came under scrutiny in college, how funny would it
Right.
be? How funny would it be for at the end of the game with the
Boy.
Bucs win to plant a flag on the star?
Be bad.
That would be
Yeah.
We don't need a repeat of I think it was like the Titans and the Ravens.
It was, yep.
Ugh, we don't need a repeat of that because some teams get heated over their logo, and I get it.
Yeah.
so.
That'll be
We
fun.
all concur. Bucks are gonna
Bucks.
win.
Yep. Bucks for sure. All right,
All right.
cool.
Unfortunately.
Now,
So
let's-
with our final outlook here, now as we go into our For the Fun, we talk about, and it's already what we've been talking about here, we're just going to add on to it here. It is our final playoff predictions. What does For the Fans think the playoffs will look like here? I'd like to point out that more than likely we are going to see 3 AFC West teams and 3 NFC North teams here in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's pretty wild, not going to lie. We still have not hit the jackpot yet as far as a team that's or a division that somehow manages to get all 4 of its teams into the playoffs. Hashtag thanks Raiders and Bears for screwing that up this year. But this will still be very intriguing here. So starting off here with the AFC, who do we think in our final prediction who claims the 1 seed?
I think Chiefs.
Bills.
They only have to win. Chiefs only have to win one more game, and the Bills have to win out. The Bills do have an easier schedule, but I think the Chiefs can win one more game.
I think Chiefs lose 2. They have to win 2 to be
Nope.
number 1.
They I think only have to win 1.
Nope. And the Bills beat them this
Oh.
year. If they have a tying record,
That's true.
if they have a tying record, they are number 2. I think Bills win 3. I think Chiefs win 1. And they both go 14-3, and Bills take number 1.
Well,
The
question
Bills
is,
have-
are they going to play Mahomes with his? Granted, we've seen this the last 4 years. His hurt ankle.
The Chiefs always go on
Will
to
they
win the
play
Super Bowl when Mahomes gets hurt.
Yeah, I feel like he's just a little pansy, and he's probably cries. when he
Okay,
gets a paper
personal
cut, but-
feelings aside, Matt.
I don't know. We've
Hey.
seen this song and dance before. You fake you're injured, and then you come back and play. So, but
Well, and I think there's I think there is a good point just on the Mahomes controversy as far as his injury aside. It more comes down to the schedule. We've already talked about the Chiefs and how they have to hit the 11-day stretch here, and how that's not going to be healthy for the rest of the team. They are then playing 3 teams who are all going to be in the playoffs with them. The Texans have already locked up their division. The Steelers have already gotten a playoff spot. We've talked about it. The Broncos are going to be there too.
Yeah.
That is 3 teams who have a chance to beat them. Whereas the Bills, no offense, Matt, they play the Patriots twice, who are rebuilding, and then they play the Jets.
From the beginning of the season, no offense, Bill, they suck, so it's fine.
I mean, I'm still gonna slot Chiefs in at number 1. I think honestly the one that they're most likely to lose is against the Broncos.
Well, both the games for the Steelers and the Broncos are both road games, though,
Like I said,
to round out the year.
I still got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I feel like they'll beat the Texans, but I think they'll lose against the Steelers and the Broncos. That's
I
my
would agree with
prediction.
that. I'd agree,
That's
Matt.
my prediction. TJ Watt will come back after, if he misses this week, he'll be good to go, and then he'll play out of his mind and
I mean,
cause them problems.
Christmas is the day of joy and light and happiness, and I don't think Chiefs Dark Magic is going to work. It didn't work in the game against the Raiders last year on Christmas Day. Just saying.
Yeah.
So it seems like we might need to potentially put it to a vote here, and see who comes out on top. Shane, you're going with the Chiefs.
I think
thinking
I'm
it's the
alone on
Bills.
the Chiefs 1.
Yeah. Are the other 3 of us? Are we thinking Bills for the 1
Bill.
seed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So then, with that said, we would have to agree that probably the Chiefs are the 2 seed, right?
It would have to be. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think, unless the Steelers win out, then you got another one of those situations. But
I don't think
actually,
the Steelers will win out, though.
but if
don't
they
think so
do,
either.
let's just say they do. They win out. They
Mhm.
beat the Chiefs. They beat everyone else. Technically,
Bills
they'll
would have
be
to
number
lose
2.
one. Yeah.
They'll be number 2, and Chiefs would be number 3, and that would be an ideal situation.
Well, the Chiefs were the 3 seed last year too, so.
Well,
Let's not start that again. Let's not give them the same playoff picture.
well, if you want to go with the script, it makes sense because they'll be the number 3 seed that are gonna three-peat, and then
Travis
Oh
Kelce
my
will
God.
propose to Taylor Swift and retire. Patrick Mahomes
Yep.
gets angry.
and it'll be a 3-carat diamond.
Gosh.
Here's the biggest thing that's going to make up the difference here, because potentially I'm looking here between the Steelers and the Ravens schedule. Here, I'm gonna just throw this out here now from what I'm seeing. I don't think that the Steelers are gonna get the 2 seed in any way. I don't think it's
No.
likely.
No.
They'll stay at the 3, I think.
They will stay at the 3. I was looking at the potential possibility here of the, maybe them being overtaken and having to settle for a wild card, and the Ravens take the AFC North. But the problem is the Steelers own the tiebreaker and more than likely sweep them, according to our predictions here. So at this point, the Ravens could, win the next 2 games, could win 2 of their 3 games, and the Steelers could, lose 2 of their 3 games. I think the Steelers would still win. They would still win the division. So Steelers in the 3 seed. That naturally makes the Texans the 4 seed because, well, they have already clinched their division. That gives our division winners. Now we need to talk about the wild card. Would we say that can we assuredly say that the 5th seed is the Ravens?
Uh,
Wait,
I would-
sorry.
5 seed. Hold on. I need to check 2 things.
It's
Wait,
gonna be
5
between the
seed. I would
Ravens-
say Ravens.
So, question.
Uh-huh.
And this is just my lack of understanding here. If I think the Texans will end with a 10-7 record, are they still the number 4 spot?
Yes, because they won their division.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yep.
Thank you. I was like, wait a second.
The
Think
Tex-
back.
the Texans
Think
could
back a
be
couple of years ago. I was gonna say, Tyler. Think back a couple of years ago when
NFC East.
when Tom Brady and the Buccaneers finished with an 8-9 record. They still had the 4 seed and won their division.
Right.
a
That's
team
true.
could
That's
technically finish 6-11 and still be the 4 seed.
Yeah, that's true. That the Commanders did that. That's right. That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing back painful memories there, Shane.
I told you it gets bad at times. All right.
It does.
5 seed. 5 seed. I gotta say the Ravens. I think the Broncos have
Yep.
a harder schedule.
Yeah, I
Well,
think the
not
Broncos.
only that, but they beat the Broncos. So if they even have the same record, Ravens
That's
still
true.
on.
Right.
With that said, though, I would slide the Broncos in at that number 6 spot.
I would too.
I'll fill this out.
I think Chargers are number 7.
Yeah, because I don't see any
Yeah.
other team catching up, because every other team has to win out, and the Chargers would have to lose out. And what's the
I don't
Chargers?
Yep.
think that's
The
gonna
Chargers
happen.
have the Broncos, the Patriots, and then the Raiders, so I don't think they're losing out.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
one that looks potentially, could maybe make competition for it, but it's highly unlikely. The Indianapolis Colts could potentially win out, considering their remainder of their schedule is the Titans, the Giants, and the Jaguars. But that is not a guarantee.
Yeah, but their percentage is pretty low.
Exactly.
Like,
And if Jonathan Taylor drops another ball right before going into the end zone, it's over.
Alrighty, let's move over to the NFC.
Alright. And let's see. We need to keep in mind that 3 teams have already clinched here a playoff spot, just not their division. I'm gonna throw it out here, guys. You're not gonna like it, but I think the Eagles take the 1 seed.
I think they lose one game. Or no, sorry. I think both teams win out, which puts the Lions in number 1.
Let's
Hey.
take a look here.
I think the Lions are gonna have a hard time the
Let's
rest
see,
of the season.
Lions got Bears, Niners, and Vikings. That one's gonna be the last one's gonna be hard.
The last
I think the Vikings are going to be their biggest battle, but I still see them picking them off. The Vikings have had a fantastic defense, but I don't think they've got the offense to keep up with the Lions.
To be fair,
Here
though,
is-
the Lions' defense is dead. And
Yes,
Oh,
and you have David
totally,
Montgomery
totally.
injury too.
I was like, and Knuckles is now dead.
And one thing I'd like to point out with that too, Tyler, I know we're kind of picking apart your argument here, but the other part too is when all those players were healthy, the Lions only barely beat the Vikings.
And that's fair. I'll give you that.
And considering that, the Eagles have the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure all of us basically picked the Eagles except for me.
Who do you have picked? Because I have Lions picked.
No, I'm talking about like the Eagles and the Lions have like a tied record. The Eagles' remaining schedule is 3 very, very winnable games, with their hardest one being the Commanders, and you guys think the Eagles will win. So the Eagles, by our calculation, the Eagles finished 15-2, and we're questioning the Lions beating the Vikings.
Exactly. Which I think they will. Which personally, I put that both records 15-2.
Who wins the tiebreaker
If I
for
look-
that one?
That would be
The-
Lions because Eagles lost to the Falcons.
Well, and another part of it too, sometimes they judge by strength of schedule too, and the Vikings are a more difficult team than that of the Commanders. Because I would say that those are the 2 games that we have to hold in question, right? The Lions are going to beat the Niners. The Lions are going to beat the Bears. We look on the other side with the Eagles. The Eagles are playing the Cowboys in Philly. The Eagles are playing the Giants in Philly.
Giants are bad.
Now,
Yeah, those are 2 easy wins.
we also have to consider one more thing with the Lions.
Okay.
Historical data. Do
boy.
they crap the bed from here on out because their defense is a graveyard
You know, he's got a
and
point.
lose the rest of the season?
That's what I think. I think the Lions, sadly, as much as I want them to go to Super Bowl, they've
Like,
sustained way too many.
They've
injuries.
lost a lot of people, and it's like it's a good thing they have their record the way it is, because that might keep them in the playoffs if they lose out.
Hold on,
but
I'm pulling up their injury report. Holy crap!
It's bad. It's really bad. I looked at it the other day.
1,
It's
2,
so
3,
bad.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So I sent you guys that reel of the Grim Reaper taking lives.
And the sad thing is that a lot. It's not even showing the ones on the IR either, which is gonna be a whole other
No.
thing. But the
Yeah.
Lions are missing a lot of their top like game-changing
Yeah.
players. They're missing Amon Ra, who did not participate, but apparently he was resting. They lost David Montgomery. They lost 2 linemen, and they lost their defensive back Brian Branch, who's been having a very good year.
And they lost 2 cornerbacks
Yep.
in the last game too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not even listed on the IR or on the injury
Yeah.
report.
And a defensive tackle because they're out for the season. It's already confirmed. All 3 of those players are out.
Yeah, they'll be on the IR if
Yeah.
they won't be on the injury report. But
Sure.
I could see that happening. That all of a sudden Karma says, "Don't think so," and they just
They
crap.
lose one
Like,
somewhere.
If they lose, if they lose, then let's just. It's not going to happen. Let's just be honest. But if they lose against the Bears, I feel like it'll be the downfall. Like it will be a slippery slope.
Holy crap! Sorry, I just looked at all the Lions IR players. It is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening. But we can move on. But I would want.
I'm okay
to put my money on
I'm
the
okay putting the Eagles then in first, knowing the full extent of the injury roster.
It is
It's
bad.
bad.
There's like
So bad.
20 on the IR.
It's.
I mean, realistically, Lions could lose out, and still that would put them in what, 4th place, bottom of the NFC. Is that what I'm?
If the Lions lose out, they would.
miss the
No,
playoffs.
because
They
then
would-
Vikings would. Yeah.
If the Vikings
Yeah.
take it, they would be the 5 seed. If the Lions held
Right.
the division, they would end as the 2 seed.
Kind reminder though with this though, as of right now, need to take a look at the Vikings schedule really quickly here because this is going to be a
schedule. Who they have remaining? They have the Seahawks, the Packers, and then the Lions themselves to
They
end the season.
I do
have-
think that the Vikings lose to one of those other 2 teams,
Yeah,
regardless.
and they have the same record. They have the same record as the Lions right now, but the Lions own the tiebreaker.
And
Yeah.
the Lions, I feel like, have a much easier end of year
Yeah.
schedule.
So I think at the end of this, even if the Lions were to lose out, I mean, there is the slightest chance that yes, the Vikings could sneak in there, but based off what we're looking at, it's unlikely. But the thing is, the Packers could get in there too. The Packers and Vikings could be an interesting game, but outside of that, the Packers play the Saints and the Bears.
Yeah.
So it's that division, whether we like it or not, is still very much up for grabs between those 3 teams,
Yeah.
depending on how the next few weeks go.
I think with the 3 pick, it should be the Bucks.
Yes.
Like it should be.
Ooh.
They're both 8-6, them and the Rams, as far as
Yeah.
and the Seahawks.
And
they
the
are all
Seahawks.
8-6.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Rams, I feel like, have a much easier schedule, though. Ugh. Let's see.
The Rams have the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. Ooh,
The
yeah.
Bucks have the Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints. And the only issue, while yes, all 3 of those teams are bad, the issue is the Bucks and the Saints. They are division rivals, and those games usually go a little sideways.
Mhm. But also, keep in mind, the Rams have the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Those are 2 divisional games, too.
And they're
That's
a little
true.
bit better.
Let's count out the Seahawks out of this because, one, they have to play the Vikings, which we think that's going to be a curb stump. Then they will have to play the Rams. That's a divisional matchup. And then they will have to play the Bears. Yes, I would say that doesn't seem likely, but knowing how the Seahawks aren't exactly great, the Bears could easily play spoiler for that game. I have no faith in the Seahawks in any of those 3 games. Not
I
completely.
don't have them making it either. I think number
I
3
would
goes
say-
to the Rams.
I think Rams for the 3 seed.
All right, Rams
Okay.
at 3, Buccaneers at 4. But hey, good news for Tyler. That means that his Falcons might be able to sneak in.
No, I don't think so. They're gonna. I
No.
think best case scenario, they end the record at 10-7, and they've
10-7 could get them in. Is the thing.
Here's the
it
thing.
could.
The 2 teams that we still have to consider, that 6th seed is more than likely going to be the Packers.
Yep.
then that just leaves the 7 seed, which we are kind of we've been saying that's the Commanders.
Yeah.
I do got the Commanders going in there.
They've got the
Yeah.
Eagles, the Falcons, and the Cowboys remaining on their schedule.
Shoot.
Now,
yeah.
quick
Well,
reminder here.
The only one that has the
Falcons,
best. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Falcons one could be interesting there as far as that seems like it was one that the Commanders could win. But then again, I really don't know. Here's the other problem: the other two that they have are against the Eagles and the Cowboys. In the game against in their matchup against the Eagles, who owns the tiebreaker?
The Eagles won the last one.
Yep, they own the
Yeah.
tiebreaker. In their matchup against the Cowboys, who owns the tiebreaker?
They do, don't
Cowboys.
they?
It's the Cowboys.
Oh, really?
Yep. You remember that was the game where they missed the extra point, and then the
Oh,
Cowboys.
yeah. That's funny.
So that actually, Tyler, it's a long shot for the Falcons here, but given the Commander situation, it's not impossible.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. It's not impossible, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I understand. I would say their chances are easier than that of the Seahawks, though, considering their two of their remaining teams are the Giants and the Panthers.
I agree.
Yeah, I think for the time being, what are we thinking? Would we say that the 7 seed is the Commanders? Are we still feeling pretty certain on that? Given,
feeling
despite the
pretty good on
fact
it.
that
I would
Yeah.
say I am 94% confident the Commanders will have the 7th seed.
I am too. I'm comfortable putting Commanders at 7.
Because even if they lose, they only drop down to 70%. So,
yeah,
which these little stats are fun to look at. It's like Packers, it's like they have them at, if they lose, 98%, current 99%, if they win, it's 99% against the Saints. So it's like, no matter what, the Packers are going to be in it from what it looks like. And the Rams are the only team that are on, they could go either way. They're like below 60% in the if lose or current. So,
yeah. Okay, so and then with that said, I'm just throwing this out there. This is just my prediction here, just with a little bit of time that we have left here. Playoffs, if we go by this format, would be pretty fun and interesting in some of these games. I would say, obviously Bills and Eagles, we're saying they get the byes. Chiefs and Chargers, I'll be honest with you, if it was Chiefs and Broncos, I would say that the Chiefs could get upset. But if it's Chiefs and Chargers, my money's actually going on the Chiefs.
yeah.
To win that. Steelers and Broncos, oh, that's a tough one. That could be interesting. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
And Texans and Ravens, the way they've been right now, I'd take the Ravens on that one.
I would too. I think Ravens have had a tougher season.
Yeah. And then if you're looking over in the NFC, Lions and Commanders, yeah, I got that's an easy one. I'd say the Lions win that. Rams and Packers, that would be fun. That's a fun one.
It is
then-
fun, but I think Rams.
And I think the Vikings and Buccaneers would actually be a close game. I have faith in the Vikings to win that, but that I don't know. It could be interesting because the Buccaneers have shown that even despite their injuries, they can score high. Just can they do it against a defense like the Vikings?
The Chiefs are one of like 4 or 5 teams that have not scored 30 or more points this season.
Interesting.
The other teams are all basically have only won 3 games.
Yeah.
It is very funny. I'm gonna see if I can find it again.
Playoffs will be a
Yeah.
good time though.
Here
Yeah,
it
will
is.
be.
Let's see here. So the Patriots,
Hey.
Jets, Raiders, Giants, and Chiefs have never scored 30 points this season.
Oh, Shane, you're making Matt's eyes twitch over here.
The
Shut up
Patriots are
about it.
rebuilding. They're fine.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, yeah.
I've accepted the fate of New England. Like the day the season started, I was like, yeah, they're
I think my
toast.
favorite thing about this statistic is that you have Patrick Mahomes, who him and his team hasn't scored more than 30 points, which Matt's gonna die a little bit on the inside with the conspiracy theories. And then you have Aaron Rodgers not scoring 30 or more points.
Well, the fact
Mhm.
that freaking Mahomes is in the MVP decision, it's like, are you kidding me?
I
He
do
doesn't
think
belong.
that has both
Like,
that he's
get
in
outta
the
here.
MVP talk.
It's like,
Agreed.
crap, guys, like close the mouth, give your jaws a break. Oh, and I cannot, like, I'm gonna save it to the end of the season.
We're
right
walking towards
before-
PG-13 territory.
So I, as you guys know, I've been compiling my evidence. I'm gonna give it, no matter if they lose or make it to the Super Bowl, I will send it all to you right before the Super Bowl, probably during the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I'm
I'll
ready.
send you
So
my
excited.
findings and all of the evidence and all of the little weird things. Like, the conspiracy is a lot.
All I'm thinking of is just the X-Files music here playing in the background for Matt as he's going through all of the.
I gotta
stuff.
ask, Matt, have you watched Gridiron Heights at all?
Oh yeah.
Have you watched this week's episode?
Yep.
Okay,
It
that's all I
spoke to him.
wanted to know.
It spoke to him very much.
I've kind of been hesitant to add Black Magic on my list.
Here's
Like,
the thing,
it's kinda
I saw
leaning
what the
towards that,
I saw what
but-
their episode was titled, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all I can think about is Matt while watching this.
You guys will be shocked at the findings.
How Taylor Swift is paying the refs and the NFL.
Oh, it goes even deeper than that, especially with the
Gosh.
most recent lawsuit that a sportsbook company has put out to the NFL. Fixing games to keep Vegas and the NFL winning money. That's also the new section of my
Oh, I've
conspiracy.
heard that one before.
The money lines and stuff, that's like, it's 100%. That's why the Chiefs haven't scored over 30. Because everyone thinks they're going to do more, and then Vegas says, oh, we're not, and then they cash out. So,
Alrighty, but that takes us to the top of the hour for the podcast.
yeah.
Any final words or comments from anybody other than we have our playoff picture, everyone feel happy with it?
Yeah. And we will talk to everyone in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I will not be at my computer on Christmas Day.
Oh, no, we will not be. No, there's no way we're broadcasting it.
I'm like, I will be at my in-laws' house.
That's unfortunate.
Dang.
I don't know what I'm doing. Just going.
All
with
I
the
know is-
flow.
Shane, this goes back to what we talked about before we went on, but all I can say is Shane and I are very excited to have a break from work for a couple of days.
Mhm.
Good for you guys.
Sidebar after we're done. I'll have to
Oh,
say
boy.
something to you guys.
Alright, well, good
Okay.
night, everyone.
Don't be a
Good
Cowboys fan. Good night.